Welcome to the first episode of Red Raider Rundown. I'm Reese Landon here today with Tyler Legacy head football coach Bo Trahan. About a week and a half before the season starts. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. Just enjoying the time with the guys, and new season, new hopes, new aspirations, and we're out there competing their butts off, and it's fun. It's fun to be around them right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fun to see the new season, how everything's going to unfold. But talking about your group coming into this year, obviously this is year 3 here. Your guys who were incoming sophomores are now your senior leaders compared to where you started. How have you kind of seen that group grow as a whole over the years?
I just think buy-in and really just the trust factor. We're year 3 now, and so the trust factor of they trust us, we're trusting them. They know how we want to work. They know what's expected at practice, what's expected in the games, what's expected in off season. And they've really stepped into that leadership role for the young guys coming in and bringing them along and what we're trying to do as a program.
All right, so talking back to last year, obviously you guys just barely missed out on the playoffs after making it the year before. You're trying to get back there now here, year 3. How do you get over that hump last year? Because obviously you look at how the district shook out, and it was kind of like the Wild West. Anyone could beat anybody, and by the end of the year, you're obviously one game back. How do you get over that hump?
I think it's just consistency. Consistency, and it starts in practice. Not hurting ourselves, not self-inflicted wounds with false starts and personal fouls and stuff that really can take you out of your momentum and what you're kind of accomplishing within a drive. So I think finishing out games, finishing out drives, and just taking it one play at a time. I think it's it's just the whole consistency factor. I think if we can stay consistent, stay ahead of the chains, defensively keep them behind the chains, get some more takeaways, get some more turnovers, and then play off of each other, right? So play good complementary football all 3 phases. And, all you can ask for is to have a chance at the end. And, with our district, like you said, it's a tough district.
Yes.
And a lot of really well-coached football teams. And so it's a challenge each and every week. And but that's what we want. That's why you play the game. You want to step up and go against a good opponent that can play. And it's our jobs to get the kids ready, set them up for to be in positions of success, and then let them go play.
Yeah, talking about your offense again, obviously you're going to have a new face at least to start the year in Kason Gray, and you're going to kind of see how things develop with Zach behind the scenes. But talk a little bit about Kason Gray. Obviously, you're still in this wide-open spread offense. Kason kind of adds an element with his legs a little bit more. But talk just kind of what you'd like to see out of him and what people can expect to see out of him because they haven't seen him at the varsity level yet.
Yeah, I think just go out and manage the offense. Don't try to win the game by yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Just go distribute the football to your playmakers, read your keys, and play within yourself, right? So we've got a veteran offensive line that we're really excited about. It's their job to take care of him.
Yeah.
He's got some playmakers on the outside and in the backfield with him that I think, he doesn't have to do it all by himself. So I think the big thing with Kason is just playing within yourself. Don't let the moment get too high or too low. Stay even keel. And that's my job as a coach is to get him ready to go each and every Friday night. And I think, he's had a tremendous camp, and he's just getting better and better. He's a film junkie. He loves the meeting room. He's very, very coachable.
Two-sport athlete,
Two-sport athlete, probably going to be our starting point guard on the basketball team. So, the guy's not without talent. So we're just going to get him in there, get him settled down. The game's going to be a little bit faster for him.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. But he is every time we've challenged him, he has stepped up in a big way. And that started at the freshman level last year. We put a lot on him last year, and he progressed each and every week. So.
Yeah, talking about that offensive line, too, you've got DJ at left tackle. He's going to be an Aggie. I know you might not be too thrilled about that.
I'm fired up for DJ. Yeah.
Obviously, joking on that. But Eric Miller, Nathan Power, those are your returners up front. But your offensive line as a whole is going to be a strength of this team.
Yeah, I think offense and defensive line. We've got a lot of depth. We got a lot of kids competing for those spots. I think we're pretty big. We got a solid foundation up there. So, we got to ride on those guys, and that's what I tell them when I first got the job. The O-line, D-line, they're going to determine how good we're going to be.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts. The big men rule the world, and as good as they want to be is how good this team's going to be.
Yeah, and this team going, obviously, like I said, into year 3. You talked about the district and kind of how things move within this district because you've got your traditional powers. There's no gimmies in this district. You're never going to get one. last year you were able to get a big win over Rockwall Heath at home, a big win at home over Rice City. Going into this year, how do you find ways to piece things together against those upper echelon teams?
I think you just got to take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
And it's going to start with really Corsicana this Thursday, and then then we go into
Texas
Texas
right
High,
away.
and that's going to be a great well-coached football team. And I think you just got to take it week to week. Learn from the mistakes. We talk about it all the time. You learn from failing.
Yeah.
And so we'll learn from the mistakes and try not to make the same mistakes over and over again so we can keep that consistency we talked about.
You talk about the offense, or we talk about the offensive line, but talk to me about some of your skill guys, because you obviously lost the name brand guys, Zay Hood, JP Rayner, guys like that, but you still have a lot of talent at the skill positions. Tell us a little bit about your skill position groups.
Yeah, I think starting at running back, you got Jace Love, who's going to be returning.
Yeah.
Another guy, Rodney Burnley, who had significant snaps last year. Another guy in Bam White, who's he's Cason's class. He's very, very talented. And then you got the guy that came in, old PJ. PJ had a great camp, great spring ball. Those guys, we're going to use them all. And so we can keep some fresh legs out there and keep the hits off of those guys. I think they can do some really, really good things behind that offensive line.
Well,
go ahead. Then you go out to receiver, and you're talking about TK Brown, who's going to be a returning starter. Harris Brownlow, who was on the varsity last year, he had a tremendous spring, changed his body. He's a big target. Then you throw in guys like Demary Malone, who's another upcoming sophomore. Jaden Kemp, who's had a great fall camp and summer. DJ Owens, who was with us a few years ago, he's back and he's in the mix. So we've got some pieces around. And then you go to the tight end. The tight ends, I think, Bo Slaughter, who's going to be returning starter for us. He started a couple games last year. And then, Vaughn Lane, who's been a quarterback but made the transition to tight end. He's still going to play some quarterback. So he's a guy that, those two guys right there can do some really, really good things for us, and we're excited to watch them.
Yeah, talk, without giving too much away, obviously, talk a little bit about that dynamic, because you have that two tight end set to kind of run now. You can it's almost that power spread look almost.
Yeah, you can. We're going to be in and out of personnels just like we always have been. We're going to be multiple, but we're going to play to the strength of the game plan, what we're seeing on tape, and we're going to play to the strength of what's working during a game. If it's 10 personnel and that's what we're winning with, then we're going to do it. If it's 11 personnel or 2 tight end sets, we're going to do what we need to do to go win the football game.
Well, this is Tyler Legacy head football coach Bo Trahan. Sure, we'll have you back at some point this year. Thanks for taking some time out of your night to come by.
Not a problem, Reese. Appreciate it, bud. Go Raiders.
All right, we're back here on the Red Raider Rundown. We have senior Bo Slaughter, junior DJ Johnson off to the left here. 2 offensive guys here today. First of all, you guys are going to be playing next to each other a lot more this year. Tight end, left tackle, a lot of moving pieces with that. But I know you guys are trying to be more physical as a unit this year. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the physicality, I know you'll run some 2 tight end stuff. I'm sure you're excited to do it. You're a big blocker. I know that. DJ, obviously, this is your 3rd year starting on varsity. Going into this year, what's your guys' expectation? I should say, what's your expectation? You guys want to be more physical, more finesse, like more speed across the field? What are you guys looking to do this year?
Start.
No, I got it. From my perspective, I think playing more as a team, because I lost 2 offensive linemen. I'm not used to playing next to Jordan Harris, but got to get used to it. So right now we got Jordan Harris and Nathan Power there rotating. So I got to get used to playing between them 2. So
yeah. What about you, Bo?
I think physicality is definitely the key factor, and you have to have physicality to have a strong O-line everywhere. And you brought up Vaughn too. It's definitely an exciting factor.
Yeah.
I get to have him.
Blocking kind of play side by side, because you guys are just going to make each other better now. Yeah. So
it's definitely going to be fun. So
talking more into that physicality, like last year you saw kind of the bits and pieces move, like the Royce City game specifically. 3 guys ran for 100 yards. How do you guys find a way to be kind of consistent across the board? Is that something you're looking at, like, we can do this, let's go?
Yeah, honestly, just consistency is key. So, being physical and also being consistent, that's something that we have to put together, and we'll be a pretty solid group. So.
About you, DJ?
See, something, I think it's just like our bond. It's like we're all so close. It's like the what's the word for it? the chemistry, it's just there. So, like Jace, Corey, and Micah Pearson, I think they all ran from 100. But we all, like, after practice, like, if they were still here, we'd probably just go hang out or something. But something like that. It just felt like like Bo said, the consistency is like it's just key right there.
All right, we're back over to DJ now. Recent Aggie. Tell me a little bit about your commitment there and why you chose to go play for Coach Elko.
I mean, Texas A&M, ever since I stepped foot on campus, it always felt like home. I mean, the way they treat my family and everything. I mean, I've researched almost every school that's blessed me with an offer, and it's like nothing came close. And it's like, if I got my mind made up, it's like, what's the point of waiting? I mean, like for right now, my recruitment isn't shut down. Never know what can happen, but I think that's my school right now. So that's why I shut it down. So.
Yeah, and I take it you probably want to stay close to home as well, right? I mean, 3.5-hour drive down the road.
Yeah, like at the beginning of my recruitment process, like staying close to home wasn't an issue, but then I started realizing like being so far from my mom and family, it's like that's gonna be crazy. But
you don't want to go play in the snow up north either.
I had no problem with that. Like, I probably would, cause
I'm from Michigan. I don't know if you know, and we get like 35 inches of snow a year, so it's a little different.
I couldn't do that. It's too much snow. I prefer like the cold over the heat though.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to throw it back over to Bo now. You obviously last year, you talked about playing with Vaughn this year. You played last year with J.P. Rayner, all-district tight end. He's now gone. What did you kind of soak in from him, and now heading into your senior year, what how did that help you into your current role now? A lot of things are expected from you as well as that tight end room as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, J.P. Rayner, he's a great example of what every tight end should be, and he's definitely a leader by example. Whether it was on or off the field, it was always doing something good for either himself or the community or stuff like that. And, I mean, whenever it just came to football, it was just he did everything consistent and good. And, it was a good like kind of feedback for me.
Yeah.
Now that I'm coming up.
And there's kind of a little bit of a legacy of tight ends here. Obviously, Brandon Pettigrew back in the day, and over the years, do you feel the expectation stepping into those shoes this year as one of the guys in that room?
I mean, yeah, I definitely do. But at the same time, I'm just going to do me. And obviously, I've learned from JP and just take my talents to the field and be good.
All right, back to just the offense as a whole. Coming into this year, obviously the offense looks different because you lose guys like JP and Zay Hood and Micah Pearson, guys like that. But going into this year, how do you guys find that consistency? Because there were games where it was you look at the scoreboard and you guys could not find ways to get off the field. I mean, you guys were scoring 30, 40 points a game. How do you find consistency across the board with that?
I mean, for me, I think it's just like what we do out of football. I mean, everything after football it has to be something after football. It's life after football. So I think not just us being friends like in the school. I think like after practice or after a game, going to each other's houses, talking to each other. Like that's what I'm big on. I feel like that carried us a lot through the season. My relationship. So when something bad happens, like JT game for instance, we lost last year. We didn't get all down on each other. We didn't get to beating each other up. We picked each other up. I mean, it's a loss, so we just have to learn from our mistakes and keep going. So I feel like what I feel like it is just like our relationship after football that carries it.
Yeah, I mean, like what DJ said, just having a good group of guys that are all pretty close together, and whether that's on the field or going out to eat or just really just having that good camaraderie.
Okay. Last thing before I let you guys go, who was the worst drip on the team?
Worst drip.
I'm not trying to
I didn't put this on the list.
I'm not trying to throw no shots, but let me think. Who has the worst drip on the team? Like varsity or like?
It can be anyone program wide. Who gets a special shout out here tonight?
Let me think. I really don't know. Hold on. Who do you have in mind?
I feel like Bo's thinking about somebody right now.
Yeah, we go Bauer Sibley. Yeah.
Oh my God.
DJ, are you taking a side there? Or you picking somebody else?
I mean, see me.
Go someone else.
I would say Jordan Harris. I would say
that's a good
Jordan
one, too.
Harris. I ain't gonna lie, but no, not throwing no shade, but I say Jordan Harris.
Jordan Harris.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Bo Slaughter, DJ Johnson, thank you all for joining us
Yes,
tonight. I'm sure we'll have you guys back
Sir,
at some
thank
point
you.
this year.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back here with two of the defensive guys, Ethan Brown, Jaden Walton. Thank you for joining us. You're the two seniors. You're the two old guys in the room now. Talk a little bit about, obviously both of you guys started last year. Both of you guys are back now in the secondary. Talk a little bit about how you guys are preparing this year. Obviously, like I said, the seniors, you guys are kind of the leaders of the team. How have you approached spring ball and heading into fall right before the season?
You want to go?
Yeah. So, like, we come out, we got to be leaders as us being older people because people look up to us. So, we got to come out, show us, like, basically show off, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just showing up every day, setting the tone and holding each other accountable, especially as seniors. Kinda leading by example.
Yeah. Like I said, both of you starters last year. Ethan, you've been a starter now for a couple of years. You're the leading returning tackler on this team, so there's a little bit more expectation on you. Talk about a little bit about going into this year. You're kind of the focal point of the defense. Offenses are kind of planning around you to an extent. Is it any more pressure this year? Or is it kind of the same going into this year as opposed to last year?
It's the same for me, knowing that there's defenses that are planned around, some of the guys on our defense, but I think when we work together, there's nothing really to worry about. I mean, I got a solid group behind me and in front of me, so I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. Jaden, you're moving to outside corner now. You're CB1 now. So kind of how has your transition been moving outside as opposed to playing more safety last year?
I feel like, and I don't even know, like we just came out. They seen that I can guard better.
Yeah.
So I feel like they moved me to better off our defense. So they feel like if we got Ethan here at safety, then why not have someone there on the outside to hold down too?
Yeah, I got you. So, Ethan, you're going to UIW. I know, Jaden, you've got a couple offers as well. Going into your senior years, I talk about pressure and expectation, but you can play at that type of level. Does that help you when you're going out and now as seniors, you're those leaders? Does that help you, give you a little bit extra on your plate, like, hey, I'm fighting for an offer, I'm fighting to get better, that type of deal?
I think it's, just going out there playing with a little swag now, knowing that you can play at that level that, some people can't play at, have something, a little chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
It kind of like motivates us. It like you see other people not having them, and then you step up in front of somebody that has the same offers as you or something like that, and you're like, okay, we're competing basically at a college level one-on-one right now. So feel like,
Yeah, you guys are playing some tough offenses district-wide. This is a very good district offensively. You've got your Rockwalls, you got your Forneys, Longview, Royce City. How do you guys approach things knowing that you're going to have a lot of variety? A team like Longview is going to hit you in the mouth pretty much all game, and a team like Royce City or Rockwall is going to air it out 50 times a game. How is that dynamic in terms of preparation?
Just being prepared, doing our, homework.
Yeah.
Longview's obviously going to play smash mouth football. I've seen that for the years I played. It's just really like the week leading up to it, that Friday. It's just, doing your homework and studying.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what he's saying, like our film, we got to take film more. Like we got to look into it for real because the teams we play, they got chemistry. They've been with each other for so long.
Yeah.
And then the resources, like the teams we play all in Dallas and stuff, they got more resources up there. So, like, I feel like they better off with each other. And then they've been having the same coaches for who knows how long.
Yeah.
So they get to work up to them coaches.
Yeah. Going back to that scheduling, what's one game on the schedule you guys are looking forward to this year?
Obviously, besides JT, I feel like that's a really exciting game every week. I really look forward to Longview.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we held our ground, first half of the game just kind of fell apart at the end.
Yeah. Jaden, what about you?
I feel like Rockwall because we ain't beat them in so long. I feel like they not nothing special. I feel like it's just we got to come out there with our heads high, know what we doing, and let's play ball.
Yeah. I gave these guys the same question too, but I'm gonna change this one up a little bit. All right. Who has the best drip on the team?
Ooh.
Best drip.
You can't say yourself, Jaden. You can't
Okay,
say
best
yourself.
drip. If I can't say myself, we going with Ethan Brown or Austin Humber.
Yeah, I was about to say Austin.
Austin Humber or Ethan.
Okay.
On the defensive side, Austin or Jaden. Offensive, Bo Slaughter and Nathan Power.
Yeah, Nate or
DJ
Eric.
is an honorable mention.
Wait,
there.
we can't forget Eric. We can't forget Eric. You know,
Eric.
DJ. Look, we know DJ. He come out with his college drip, basically trying to show off. You know.
This is now year 3 for you guys playing under Coach Trahan. How have you guys kind of seen your group as a whole grow? And I've mentioned it before, but now you guys are kind of at the top of the food chain as seniors. What have you guys seen from, incoming sophomores? You were still in your freshman year when he came in to now.
He changed a lot. Like, he came in from us being freshmen. Like, he came in like he didn't know everybody. He didn't know what they could do. So he was just playing what he heard of and what film showed him. But, like, he built up now. And then he got us to trust him, and now we showing off what we can really do at year 3 right now.
Yeah,
there's definitely a culture change from when he first got here. I mean, people are starting to buy in. He's a great coach. He's starting to understand, the skills and the weapons that we have.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little more comfortable, and I think it's going to be a different year this year.
It's good to hear. All right, Jaden Walden, Ethan Brown, thank you guys for joining us. Sure, we're going to have you guys on at some point again. And Jaden, you didn't have to tell Ethan he had good drip, by the way. Whoa. I'm not saying that because it's bad.
That's a shot fired.
It's not a shot. I'm saying you didn't have to say it just because he was sitting right
well,
next to you.
Well, he my safety, so we both got to look good on the same side of the field.
No, I wasn't taking a shot. I was actually one of the worst guys in terms of the food chain and that. So, but thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We're back here on the Red Raider Rundown. I'm here with Coach Barnard and Coach Trahan. Thank you guys for joining us today. Just before we get into things, give us each a little bit of background about you guys, because not everybody knows exactly who you are. They see you on the sidelines, they see you on Twitter, they see you everywhere, but they might not know who you are. So dive into a little bit about your guys' background.
Originally from Kansas City, played at junior college in Southeast Kansas, and then I ended up at Baylor. That's where the connection with Coach Bo was.
Yeah.
So he was coaching, and then been in the Houston area most of the career, and he gave us a call, and we came out to Tyler Legacy.
Yeah. Obviously, we know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I was born in the Houston area. My dad was a head high school coach in the Houston area, Cy-Fair, Bay City, and Dickinson. So I've been around coaching my whole life. Obviously, Coach Bo's my oldest brother. We've got another brother also that was in coaching for a little while and got out of it, but definitely a coaching family. And I went to Baylor as well and played. James and I were teammates. I was a freshman when he was a senior, so that's kind of where we ran into each other. And then from there, I GA'd at Baylor for 3 seasons, and then went to New York to coach D3 football. Then back down south at McNeese State, was there coaching linebackers for a year, and then the University of Tulsa for 2 seasons, and then got into the high school coaching and was at Rockwall Heath in 22, and then came to Tyler Legacy from there.
Talking first to you, Coach Barnard, your offense last year, you obviously lost some pieces at the skills, but your offensive line is intact, 3 of the 5 guys back. Talk about playing to your strengths this year in terms of that offensive line, but you've also got some young, exciting receivers, running backs. It feels like the sophomore class as a whole is really coming along.
I think, the offensive line, we got a lot of veteran guys, and there's some guys that are emerging. A guy that had been kind of a role player for us, and Antonio Antunes and Jordan Harris, they're stepping up at offensive line. And Nathan Power, Eric Miller, DJ, of course, they all kind of know. They've been around it for a while. The exciting part is the young skill guys. Yeah. Our receiver depth feels really good right now, and we're going to be getting in and out of more stuff just because we got more bodies to get the ball to.
Yeah. All right, over to you now, Brody. Your defense, a lot of moving pieces, some guys going out, but also some guys coming in, some guys coming up that either were on the JV last year, kind of sprinkled in on varsity last year. You've got your core guys there, though. What can we expect to see out of this defense in 2025?
Last year we were really young in some spots, and a lot of those guys are coming back now. So obviously mentally we can take that next step with them and do some different things. We have moved some guys around position-wise. Guys who have played the same positions for the last 2 years are moving around. We've got guys in the back end moving down a corner and switching some guys around to the safety position. Linebacker positions are kind of moving around a little bit. So, yeah, we are moving some pieces, and this spring we got to really kind of experiment with that and saw some things we really liked. And so I think we've kind of put that puzzle together now.
Yeah.
And feeling pretty good about it. So feeling better about going into this season with just the maturity level that we have from our guys as opposed to last year. And they're able to handle some things. And they've seen some live bullets, so to speak, last season, whether it was from a backup position or in a starting position. So feeling really good about it. We're really deep up front, guys who have played a lot of snaps the past couple of years. So really excited to watch them get to work this year.
Yeah. Talking this really to both of you. You've obviously got your guys defensively like Ethan Brown. Offensively, we talked about DJ on the offensive line. Who's a couple guys who maybe not everybody knows about yet, but they should know about, and who you think are going to come along this year?
I think, Bo Slaughter at the tight end position didn't get a ton of burn last year, but this year, he's done everything from catching the ball and blocking, physical player. I think he's emerging. Another tight end is Von Lane. You're going to see him quite a bit also.
Former quarterback
who asked him the other day, I said, do you like quarterback or tight end better? And he said tight end. So he's enjoying getting in the trenches a little bit more. Some young receivers to keep your eyes out for. There's a bunch of them, but just off the hip, D. Malone is going to be a really good player for us. We got to find where he really fits, but he's a good player. And then some of the older guys like TK got a lot of burn last year, but hopefully we can get him some more touches. And, the skill depth has gotten a lot better. Our running backs are really coming along and running hard. So I think, every position I think is getting better. And whether that's, just hard-working role player guys or that's, the guys you're trying to highlight, but really proud of how far we've come.
Yeah, up front, the last few years, we've had some really highly recruited defensive ends come out with Travis Jackson and Simeon Garner. And I think Ramon Gabriel is a guy that's going to kind of step in that role of defensive end. Luke Allen kind of plays outside and inside. Two guys that were kind of role players last year, but got a ton of snaps, and I'm feeling really good about the strides that they're making. Obviously, Austin Humber, Jacob Harris, they played a lot of snaps last year at different linebacker positions. They're back. They're doing a great job mentally and physically. It's been great. Bauer Sibley is a guy who was kind of a backup role last year and played a lot on special teams. He's a guy that's going to see the field a lot this year. And then in the back end, Jaden Walton's a guy who played several snaps last year at the safety position. He's going to be working at corner. Ethan at a safety position. Staten Boone's a guy that's going to step into a role. Kylan Bell's another one that we could see a lot. And there's just guys really all over that we're kind of, plug and play kind of, so to speak. So I'm really excited to see how they step into these roles and which one of these roles they're going to kind of thrive into. So
last thing, this is obviously year 3 for you guys here. Like I was talking to Bo about year 3. What's the biggest difference you've kind of seen? Because I know there's been a little bit of a culture change, and you had to get some buy-in. You're finally getting that buy-in. What's the difference now as compared to first when you got here?
Yeah, looking at our depth chart, it's color coded. By classification, and the senior class happens to be green this year, and there's a lot of green. And when we got here, Coach Bo and I and Coach Barnard got here the spring of these guys' freshman year, went through spring ball with them. And if you'd have told me that we'd have a lot of seniors, littering this depth chart, I would have called you a liar probably. But they have grown up tremendously. Incredibly proud of every single one of our seniors and the young men that they've become or they're becoming. So I'm really excited to as far as leadership roles, and because we got several of them, guys who it's important to and know how to do things the right way. So I'm really excited to watch them go to work and work together as a unit.
About you, Coach?
I think one of the biggest things, where we've covered ground is really the strength and conditioning stuff. The summertime stuff, our attendance, I felt really good about, especially our older guys that really bought into that. And just having, more of a weight room culture, especially with the big guys, the O&D line. We've spent a lot of time in the weight room, and I think that has paid off. All our guys are getting bigger, getting stronger all year long. So that's a big part to me. And then just the consistency of kind of doing the same thing. You install the offense once, then you hit spring, you install it again. You hit summer, you install it again, So we get to coach more more small detail versus installing big plays.
All right. Well, this was Coach Barnard and Coach Trahan. Appreciate you guys for coming on here tonight.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.